Board games, board games. I might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming while singing while I'm walking, and I'm going to talk about routines. I think they're good. Let's talk about what that means. Board games and routines is what we're talking about. Board games and routines, and I'm not going to shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. 10 a.m. ish UK time for Bezzy Beats and Board Game Leather. And today, I want a quick shout about routines. Why they're important. And we all need different things. We need time to learn to do the things we want to do. We need time to think because sometimes it's good to ponder a bit before we actually do it. And we need time to actually do this stuff. Then we need time to sleep. We need time to rest because we're not machines. We can't just work endlessly. And to be fair, even a machine sometimes needs oiling or whatever. Similarly, we need time to recover. And why not build in a routine, make sure that we do all of these things? And that's basically what I'm saying today. So, hello, good morning, Heather. It is lovely to see you. Thank you for joining in. And let me quickly talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. Sorry for the traffic noise. I know that these, unless I'm at a convention, well, it's just because to make it fits into my life, frankly. And I hope that you're able to understand what I'm saying. I went to visit a friend yesterday. I went to visit another friend. We played some games. We played. What did we play? We played Buccaneer Bones by Chris Strown, if I'm getting that correct. Self publisher who also did A Kid Not Shuffle. A nice little game about rolling dice, trying to get your ships across and then back. And if you leave your ships on one side, you get bonus effects. But then if you move them back, then you'll actually be getting the points and you get 3 points to win. That was a fun game. It never feels like it's the most strategic. It doesn't feel like it's got the most replayability, but it's a nice, fun little thing, and Chris enjoyed it. And yeah, I do wonder, especially with me leaving quite soon. It was the only one game that I actually bought Touchfield, and I'm not sure if I should have bought even that. But that's because I'm leaving in like a short time. We also played a game about writing words, aiming to match other folk exactly 3 times. That went really well. Definitely better with 4 players than 3 players. I will say that. It feels like the more players. I don't know. I'm going to say it is very player dependent. You want enough players that you're going to be on the same wavelength as each other. Like if you've got 5 players and everyone's on different wavelengths, then frankly going up to even 10 might be better. But for us, 4 meant that we were actually able to match, and we even went bust a few times. Played a game about setting scenarios that people would do for different lengths of time. That's another new game for me. We all enjoyed that, and I think I managed to win that one, which I was quite chuffed with. But yeah, the scoring system didn't quite land for Layla. I will admit that. I mean, I don't hold back punches even when I talk about my own games. But everyone enjoyed the Mad Lib style, putting words together and inventing these stories that we were then able to explore. Finally, we had a couple of games of Spyfall, a game that I've now gotten rid of. I gave it to my friend McCall. There's a few other games that I'll be giving to Chris and McCall before I go off to Thailand. And those are because they had first dibs on all the games I was getting rid of. And yeah, Spyfall is a really wonderful, interesting game. I will say that, unlike most social deduction games where you actively need to lie, you need to say, no, I'm not this thing. Oh, and that's basically the bulk of the conversation. Spyfall, by giving you something else to talk about, yes, it's bluffing. Yes, it's lying by kind of, you're misleading people, but you're never out and out lying. You're kind of, as a spy, you're guessing when someone asks you a question and you have no idea. As a spy, you're just shooting in the dark when you ask a question. So there's never actually the lying going on. And the fact that you can't be super obvious, it's a really nicely made game. Obviously, going from that whole family that it is also fake artist goes to New York, Chameleon, formerly known as Gooseberry. Um, oh yeah, I also played a couple of other games. I mean, yesterday was pretty much a day off, hanging out with friends in North London. A lovely friend Kerry. We played Sunday Split. Yeah, I lost a. Oh, I just realised Kerry beat me at every game we played. Good job, Kerry. So we played 2 games of Sunday Split. That was super fast. I like the I split you choose. Get a bunch of cards. They score in different ways. Very simple scoring systems that add up to something slightly more complicated. Because unlike Sushi Go, for example, where you are able to just focus on 1 or 2 of them at once, in Sunday Split you will be getting a few of all of these cards. The negative cards, the horrible vegetables, the sprinkles and whipped cream, which you need to combine for points. The ice creams that if you get lots of one kind, then you'll multiply it with a cherry. But if you get sets, then those score bonus points. And the bananas, where you've got the majority going on. There's a surprising amount going on for such a small game. I do wonder if it needed to score both the majorities and the sets, because there's already a really interesting I split you choose mechanism. One player's got the cards, puts them into piles, and some of the cards on each pile are face down. So then you've got the Princess Bride style. You know I cannot pick the one in front of me because that's the one that. And okay, are you making the bad one appear to be good, or are you double bluffing me and just making the bad one look bad and shooting straight? So I don't know if they needed to score both the majorities and the sets for the ice cream. For me, that felt like, as a first-time player, it I struggled to wrap my head around what I was actually going for, and it felt like one scoring system too much because of the divergent incentives. I wanted my incentives of what I want to be slightly clearer, because there's already enough complexity and wrinkles going on in the I split you choose. That was my personal feeling. We also played Flip Over Frog, which is a memory strategy card playing game. Place cards and sometimes they flip over tiles on the board. You've also got snakes, which had lots of luck in because snakes are super powerful. Let's be honest, they just kind of destroy a frog, but it's a charming little thing. It takes about 15 minutes, and I would happily spend a couple of hours just playing that one thing. All of these I really enjoyed, and so it was a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful day of being with friends. What were you up to? Let me know. I am genuinely interested. And in the meantime, brilliant thing, what's a little thing which is brilliant? I'm going to say that bridges. I am currently, I normally don't tell people exactly where I am because I don't want to dox myself, but I'm willing to tell you that I'm in Camden and there's a bridge, Camden Town Bridge. I think that bridges are brilliant just because without them, we wouldn't be able to have, uninterrupted traffic in one direction and uninterrupted traffic in the other direction as well. And so, yeah, railways crossing over roads, roads crossing over rivers. I mean, bridges are amazing. Yeah, let's hear it for bridges. Um, anyway, to crack on with the whole thing, as always, do feel free to comment, ask questions. Manuel says they're brilliant. I like that. As always, feel free to comment, ask questions, because that is why I do these things live, for little jokes like that. And it's lovely to see Manuel. Um, so yeah, routines. I think it's important to have things to look forward to, things to punctuate your week, things to aim for. I mean, myself, I'm blessed to have this Friday daytime playtest where every Friday I get up a little bit earlier, maybe than I normally would. I've got a little bit more excitement in my step. I'm thinking, aha, I get to go and interact with people and I get to show off my thing. And even if it's really rubbish, that's okay. They'll all forgive me because it's not about entertaining the people. It's not about making the best game possible. It's about making the best game that I could at that moment. Within my, maybe I just made it that morning, and that's okay. There's no shame in turning up with something that's half baked and think, hey, let's finish baking this cake together, metaphorically speaking, of course. No one's actually baking any cakes. And talking about the things, seeing other people's games, getting to see that, there's a real buzz. And it's, again, I say it's something to aim for. So in my mind, even if I've not physically constructed a game, I will be thinking, okay, how can this work? Okay, my domino style game, how can the resources fit together? What kind of effects do I want? Maybe I'll even make a spreadsheet if it's a super complicated game and I need to make a whole bunch of cards. And it's something to aim for. It's something to get excited about. And by having that routine, then my mind instantly goes into a space where, boom, this is what I'm doing. And I've got the energy to do it. It's not a case of, well, what am I doing now? Oh, I guess I'm doing that. Now I need to summon my energy to get it all done. It's a case of, yeah, suddenly my body knows what's going on. My body knows what to do. And straight away, I'm making the things. Sometimes it's good to have a routine of something as simple as brushing your teeth, right? If you know, okay, I got up this morning, I brushed my teeth, and last night when I was in the bathroom, I brushed the teeth. And again, I think by having the routine, you get the important stuff done. You get your body trained to do these things. And that's basically all I'm saying. Get the routine ready, make sure that you do these things. But build in a tiny bit of flexibility. Make sure that if you're sick one day, if you're really inspired to do something else, because creative work, it doesn't go in a straight line. There are definitely ebbs and flows. Make sure that you've built in that flexibility, that you can allow for some days to be off days, and you can allow to take advantage of a random bit of inspiration. But then make sure that you get stuff done. Truth be told, this is as much a reminder to me as it is to anyone else. So let me finish off with a question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. My question of the day is, do you have enough routine in your life? The truth is, I do not, and I need to build in more routines. Tomorrow, I'm going to visit a small publisher in Camden, which is the area I'm currently in, and I'm hoping that that can become a routine where we share time, and that would become an additional thing that I look forward to and feel good about. And it's not about rewarding ourselves because we've done other stuff. It's just about, yeah, you get to do these things at this point. Do you have enough routine in your life? I am curious. Regardless, over to you. What are you up to? You can share Botany if you want to. Wednesday, every 2 weeks-ish, I do go out. There's a regular pub meeting that lasts until 9 p.m. which is a good timing for me because that's a reasonable time for me to get to bed. And I'm going to head off to that this evening or maybe this afternoon if I get work done faster. I will, yeah, write off an email, shoot off something to my emailing list, and yeah, maybe try and print out and sign some, check some contracts, and yeah, sort out some stuff for a game about selecting 7 cards, speedily searching for synergies. Maybe puts all the data into a spreadsheet so it's really easy for Jack to do the final pass on it. Because I think that there were some things that could be better, and a spreadsheet would also allow me to show it off to my Kickstarter backers to say, hey, here's what's going on. What do you think of these numbers? Is there anything that. And I do trust myself more than any individual, but with a lot of individuals, if someone says something, then there's a chance that they might be right. Something that's how I look at. Recap and wrap up before we finish up. Basically, routine is good. I need more routine. Bridges are brilliant. Do you have enough routine in your life? Think about it for yourself. Make sure you get the important stuff done. We need time to learn the stuff, think about the stuff, do the stuff, sleep and rest and reward ourselves in other ways. If you want to check me out, I'm stuff my beds in all other places, stuffmybeds.com/streams. Share, spread the word. Thank you very much. And as always, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye, everyone. Have a lovely day. Bye, bye.